So today we're looking at the SBCs and seeing is there any that are actually worth it. We've got a very reduced amount, which I am surprised at. I can imagine they are going to be waiting for the eventual footies that are going to come and more than likely give us some massive SBCs to grind out, which is naturally what we get from footies. It's normally 97s, 98s to begin with, and then we hit into the 99 CR7, the Ronaldinho, the Cruyff. Eventually we do get into that sort of level. Now, so if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Is there anybody that's worth it, to be honest? And I think this goes into Evos as well. When we look at the icons specifically, there's only 4 available at the moment. We've got Michael Owen still, which to be honest, he's only got 4 days left. We've got Vidic, who's got a day left. 4 days for Butra and 1 week for Baggio. Now, already I'm going to tell you that Owen for me is just now at a miss, really. We're so high up on the category. Unfortunately, he's good, like he's got some decent stats across the board, but I mean, he's not going to get in your team. He realistically needs the Evo. Whether you're going to put that on him or not is a big question. To be honest, he's just there if anything. Now, it could be potential value if you have your Evo, but again, you're going to have to miss out on every other player that you could put into this to put him into this. So when you do look at the ones from yesterday, when you look at the popular, like you're looking at Henry, Mbappe, CR7, Hullet, you've got to really think, am I missing out on them to put a Michael Owen in this? Probably not. Now, if you are, then obviously it's going to be worth it 100%. But then we have the rest of them. We have got Vidic, who is moderate, I'd say. To be honest, he's not terrible in this sort of avenue. He's got himself the quadruple. He can obviously play right back, centre mid, or CDM. I think he plays okay in the CDM. I don't think he's absolutely crazy. I would say for me, he'd be okay value more so than anything, but he definitely could be better in that attribute, really. Butra's a funny one. Now, obviously with Butra, is 146,000, which is fantastic in itself, but it mainly was to go into the evolution to make him that next level up. So if you saw him in this version, it was, if I can find it, to go into this. Now, I like this and I don't like this. They're kind of forcing you into this upgrade. You can obviously make the 94 and leave him for another Evo, but I just think forcing him down this road to have to buy 300k worth of an Evo, I'm not that big of a fan, to be honest. And I do like him as a cam centre mid left wing, but realistically, I would miss out on him personally because I don't want to have to do that Evo. I think 300k at this point is just not necessarily worth it. Now, if it was a little bit cheaper, fair enough. And I know he goes to a 98, but realistically, you're just being forced down that road to put him into an Evo. I'm not a massive fan of that. I get that the card itself is good if you put him into the 98, but as an SBC into the evolution, it's a bit questionable with footies literally around the corner. Baggio is another one that I thought was okay at best. I mean, to be honest, I could probably go okay value for all of them. I don't think any of them are absolute world beaters, but they are decent in their own right. They're just not an SBC, I would say, run to the shop and buy it straight away. Be much like, if you've got the fodder, if you're not putting it into anything else, you might as well finish them off. Whether they get a footies or not is going to be the big question, really. Which leads us then into the players, and obviously Berbatov was very similar with the evolution that obviously goes into him, which is a little bit cheaper, which I'm kind of glad about, but it's still not the kind of point with it. Going into the 94, and then obviously he's got himself the evolution. If you go into Evolution Builder, it's not going to let me. Okay, there we go. You've obviously got the 200k that you can put him into here, and it will make him a 97. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad card itself. Very much like Butra. it's decent enough. At least it's a lot, well, I say a lot cheaper. It's 100k cheaper at the minimum. But I don't think he's a world beater as a centre-back. Kind of like Butra in a centre-mid. It's not like he's the best in that position. So putting that amount of coins in is a little bit crazy. With the rest of the players, to be honest, I don't know if there's many that I would say is an absolute must. The only one I'd suppose that I would say is a must is purely any of the World Cup cards, because there is a chance for them to go to 99. Now, I'm not well versed in to know who's going to be the favourites, but I do know with these kind of road to the final cards for the Euros, there is a chance if France do win the Euros in this, you will get a 99 rated card. So for the fact that you're paying 90,000 coins for the card, I would say it's most definitely worth completing at the minimum, just to potentially get the first 99 or even have the chance to get an extra 99. I would say that's kind of worth it in my opinion. When it comes to the other SBCs, obviously we've got Jonathan David, we've got Munoz, and we've also got a bit of Kluivert. They are kind of the standard as what we imagined. Kluivert wasn't terrible. I thought he was decent at the best. Jonathan David is a centre-back. I would probably miss out on. I didn't really fancy it too much. Munoz was decent enough. Again, very similar to Kluivert. There's no world beaters there, but it's very standard across the board. We do obviously have 2 showdowns. At this point, showdowns are just not what you need, to be honest. So I would be realistically looking at fodder more so than anything. And Bellerin and also Spinazzola coming in with CDM and left back. I mean, it's a standard. Both of them are relatively cheap. Spinazzola up for 135. Decent playstyle pluses, a chance of an upgrade at some point. I'd go decent to okay value at this point. And Bellerin changing over from his right back into obviously the left back role. Again, it's 70,000 coins. Realistically for him, I'd probably have him in a fodder, if anything. Like he's all cheap, he's nothing too crazy. And that's kind of it for the list today. There isn't much going on at the moment. I can imagine once footage does come around, we'll have a lot more SBCs available that will be well worth documenting and having a look at and seeing if they are worth doing straight away. So let me know down below if you're going to grind out any of these SBCs. Are you still grinding Evos, or are you waiting now for a particular player, a particular SBC, or are you just putting it all into 84 times 10s? To be honest, that again is not a bad way to do it. I think with the team free and all these cards coming in, I'd much rather put it into upgrade packs than really anybody. There's not anybody on here that would potentially get into the main team at this point. We're definitely waiting for that footage, that guaranteed quadruple, and potentially even 5 playstyle pluses going onto cards will be very, very interesting. So leave it down below. Make sure you do like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.